Hello, welcome back again, and today we're going to tie a little river bug for you. It's on a Hanak 310. It's a heavy wire hook, buzzer hook, and I've also put on a 2.5mm tungsten bead that you can see on the front of the hook here. Just there. The hook's in the vise at an awkward angle because the first thing I'm going to do is add my hotspot. Now there's lots of different UV resins around now, and they're now coming in coloured formats. The one I've got here is from Troutline. It's a hot orange format, and it says hot orange, but actually it's more a subdued orange, which I really like. So I'm just going to take my vodka needle. There's already some come out the top there, you don't need much, and I'm going to add a little drop to just where the bottom of my hook would be. Now I'm just going to turn the vise so that I get a nice glob. Let's hope the bead doesn't touch it, and I'm going to cure that. Just move that away. Don't want to touch it with my fingers just yet before it's cured. And that should do the job. Yep, perfect. Now I can bring my vise back to its normal state of play. Sorry, the hook. So it's sitting in the vise nice and straight. I'm just going to put the top back on my resin. And the thread I'm going to use today is the Vivas GSP. This is the 02. It's a 50 denier thread, quite strong, and it also splits, which is required for this pattern. So if you don't want to use the Vivas, use a uni or a thread that can split, because we're going to insert some fibres in the thorax later on. So if I come in just behind my bead, and I'm going to build up a little bit of thread, and it just stops the bead moving backwards any further. So I can now come all the way down, touching turns, and just before I reach, my blob of UV resin. I'm just going to catch that in. So that's sitting nice. For the rib, I'm going to have a gold rib today. You can use silver, works well as well, but this is my favourite, gold. This is the Vineyards. It's number 27 for those that want to be exact, and I've already taken off a small length of the wire. Now I want to try and keep the body even, so I'm just going to catch that in on my side all the way up to the thorax area. And the beauty of this thread, what I love about the GSP, is it's so thin you can get away with wrapping lots of material on it. Lots of thread wraps without adding a great deal of bulk. Next, for the body, I'm going to use some pheasant tail fibres, and I'll take off 2 or 3. Don't need a lot for this. So I've got 2 or 3 fibres, and I'm going to catch that in at the tips. Just a light wrap to start with, and then come all the way to the bottom. Now it does pay to build a little bit of thread near the top here, just to give you that carrot shaped segmentation in the body. And once I've done that, I'm going to bring my pheasant tail around towards me, like like so. If you've got a decent pheasant tail from an older bird, the fibres are much longer and it's just much easier to work with. A lot of the pheasant tails that I get given from my shooting friends, they're just a little shy off on length, and I find myself using hackle pliers quite a lot of the time. Once that's done, I can lock that in and don't worry too much about the front here because we've got business to do there yet. Then take away your waste. Next. Now there's a couple of things you can do here before you start, and I sometimes like to just put 2 turns in below the start of the body and then bring it all the way up in nice even open turns up to the top of the fly. Once I've caught that in, I'm just going to get a few wraps on, and to finish off, bring it back on itself and another few wraps. Now, I'm just going to adjust my hook ever so slightly in the vise, and I'm going to twist it just slightly anti-clockwise. I don't want it too much. Now for this, I'm going to use a little bit of scruffy dubbing, and this one's the Tweaked Natural. Again, it's a custom blend, but any sort of hare's ear, dark hare's ear fibre will do for this. And as we've done previously, I'm going to open up, let's go back a stage. I've already taken a pinch and putting it in my clip, ready for this. Now you'll notice I haven't taken very much because I don't want very much, and that's to do with the movement of the fly, which I'll come on to once I've got the thorax in place. So I should be able to just rub my needle up against this thread as it's been sitting and open it out. Once that's in place, slip your dubbing in, to your tool. Now I've not caught mine particularly well, but I'm not worried, and there's a reason I'm not worried, because I don't need very much of this at all. So it's maybe out of camera shot now. I'll try and bring it up a bit. You can see I've got quite a lot of dubbing here. Now I don't want all this. In fact, I don't want most of it. So I'm just going to come in before I really wrap it tight and remove quite a lot of that. So all I've got left is just a very sparse amount of hackling here. And then I'm going to come at the top and just finish that off. Now sweep everything back, a couple of turns. Now if you use different colour threads, you can get like an orange collar, a red collar, a yellow collar. It's really up to you what you want to do with it. But what you can also do with the GSP, which I quite like, is get something like a pro marker. I'm going to use brown today because I want this to be fairly drab. Sorry, it's not brown, it's henna. Haven't we moved on? But you can use red, orange, whatever you fancy really, and simply colour in your thread like this. I'm going to get a few wraps, and then before I do anything else, I'm going to grab some of my Solaris. like so. Again, try and get all your fibres out the way. Then a half hitch in. Sorry if my fingers are in the way. Tighten that up. Come in with your UV pen. Cure it up, and then take away your waste. Now let's just have a look at what we've got here. As you can see, it's quite a scruffy old looking thing, but this has caught me lots of fish, especially on a dropper. If I'm fishing double nymph, this is a great dropper fly, and although this is a size 14, I tie these down to 18 and they work great. I'll just get rid of some of them fibres. So there you have, I suppose it's a pheasant tail bug. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.